Hello, my name is Madison Michaels, and this is my major presentation on virtual field trips. Alright, virtual field trips. A virtual field trip is a guided exploration through the World Wide Web that organizes a collection of pre-screened, thematically based web pages into a structured online learning experience. That is just a very difficult way of saying virtual field trips are like interactive videos that teachers and students can use in the classroom to better further their understanding of whatever topic is being taught at the time. Here I've just included some pictures of some virtual field trips that I actually went on in order to do this project. My favorite one would have to be the middle picture. It is a photo of the first floor of the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian is a very famous museum, one that many students hear about through school and, I'm sure want to attend. The Smithsonian actually has a great virtual field trip that students and teachers can attend for free in order to really learn more about the museum and the history inside of it. There are steps to planning a virtual field trip. A few steps that I found pertinent are the four that are right here. Step one is to conduct your research. I believe it is very important as a teacher and as a professional to conduct your research before you present it to your students. We want to make sure that the information is relevant and appropriate for our students' age and whatever lesson is being taught. We want to make sure that it meets all the criteria that we need it to. Step two is the lesson plan. That just has to, I'm talking about like we want this virtual field trip that we pick to really match our lesson plan. I don't necessarily mean that we want to form a whole lesson plan around our virtual field trip, but rather just use it to help further our students' understanding into a lesson plan that is already made and that they need to learn. Step three is to design your assessments. Through the virtual field trip, how are you going to assess your students' learning? How are you going to know that they understand and things such as that? And step four, which I found to be very important, is to reflect. Virtual field trips for many teachers are very new and they are very inventive, and I think it's very important to reflect to find out what went right, what went wrong, what could go better next time. That way we are able to really get better each and every time that we bring something like this to our students. Alright, virtual field trips in the classroom. Virtual field trips can be designed for any subject at any time. I find that going through these virtual field trips, a lot of them have to do with science and history, which is totally great. And as I've already discussed before, there is one for the Smithsonian, so that's the first one I'm going to take y'all on. So my first link is for the Smithsonian. Let's get to that. Okay, so this is the Smithsonian's website. They have a museum virtual tour page. If you go down on the page, it shows you the available tours that they offer. They offer the permanent exhibits, you can select past exhibits, or other museum tours that they offer. They also have an index that you can see. They have many different options. You're pretty much limitless as to what you and your students can see. So it really just depends on what lesson you want it to go for. But I am going to click on one just to show how absolutely wonderful they are. We'll just go to past exhibits. Okay, so first you have the Fossil Hall, which gives all different sections into the museum. Early life, ancient seas, Western culture. I mean, it is just absolutely fantastic. Let's click on genome number 1. Okay, so this is part of the museum. that you can use a virtual tour on. As you can see, I'm using the up and down arrows at the bottom of the screen. You can also use them on your computer, which is what I'm clicking now. And you can use the arrows to the left and right to navigate yourself through the museum. So, for example, I'm going to turn this way, and I'm able to see this exhibit. It says every living thing has a genome with a unique sequence of DNA. This could be used for science, obviously, and what is so great is that even though you're not there, you can use these buttons to zoom in and zoom out, and you are able to read every single thing that the exhibit has to offer. This is so great for students because not everyone can actually physically go, but when you're going on this virtual field trip, it really feels like you're there. I mean, you can just see the whole place. So now I'm just going to go around and just kind of show what all the place has to offer. All right. So that was that one. You can really go any and everywhere. Just to click on another one. Let's just see something different. If you were learning about fossils, for example, you can click on one of the fossil tours, and you are just right there up close and personal. So much about virtual field trips is that it's so lifelike. It's almost so hard to tell that you're just on the computer screen because you can see up so close. I mean, look how amazing that is. This is so great to use in the classroom because not everyone can take a whole class to great places like the Smithsonian. Okay, so enough with this website. I do have another one to show y'all. This is another website for virtual field trips that I found that I thought was absolutely fantastic. It's called virtualfieldtrips.org, and this website offers many different things, not just, science like the Smithsonian would, because it's very specific. I'm not going to actually go through this one, but I'll just show you all the things that it offers. You can look at virtual field trips by curriculum area. You can look for videos by which grade you teach. You can look for them by location, or you can just look at all the videos in general. This is so great just because it doesn't limit you to just science or just math as far as what you can show your students. And this website is a good one to go to just as a general basis of videos that you can really go through and select for your class. All right. Now, I'm sure many will tell you that there are pros and cons to using virtual field trips. Obviously, there's not very many cons. You have to have good internet connection. If you don't, it just becomes very pixelated and kind of slow, like mine kind of can be. And virtual field trips can only engage students in their sense of sight and hearing. While this is true, it is so lifelike, like you're already there, that I don't consider it very much of a con. The only thing is they can't physically touch it. But that's okay. So some of the pros of virtual field trips is that students can explore places that they might not be able to visit in person. There's no safety concerns. It is budget friendly as most of them are free, and it is absolutely limitless. You can go anywhere at any time. If it is 9 o'clock in the morning in Arkansas, you can be anywhere in Asia you want to be. I wanted to end my PowerPoint with a quote that I found from John Dewey. And the quote says, "If we teach today as we taught yesterday, we rob our children of tomorrow." This quote is very near and dear to my heart because I find that as you watch teachers who have taught for 30 years, they're so great, but I find that they continue to stay kind of in a slump of how they've always taught. And I think that that really robs our children and the future generations. I believe that teachers need to really adapt to our surroundings and as the world changes and technology is up and coming in the world. If we can incorporate technology and things like virtual field trips in the classroom, I think that it would really benefit our students and their learning. Technology has kind of a bad rap in the classroom just because people see it as a nuisance, but I believe that as teachers and professionals, we can use technology in a positive way to enhance our students' learning and really help them and be able to explore with them different things that they might not be able to see in person. So, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you learned some great things about virtual field trips.